lot of you Grow a Garden players may have noticed a pattern along the updates, and I thought, like, if there's a common trend, I may as well give you guys some help on how to do best on these updates, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a massive sweat. This event is the Safari event. So I'm gonna use this as an example because it's the current one, but this should work for like every other event. There's basically 5 categories. There's berry, vegetable, fruit, flower, stalky, I don't even know what I'm doing with my fingers, prickly, leafy, woody. And just remember, by the way, there is a limit of 800 seeds planted, so just be careful about that. So the first category we're going to do is the berry category. This category has a lot of different plants. As you know, there are like so many different types of berries, but I picked blueberry because blueberries give 2 points instead of 1. It lets you collect them really fast and a lot, and it's very good for that. So you just go collect, and turn them in, and by the time you come back, they should be grown back. Also, these are available in the base game, so that's why I think they're the best for that. The second category is vegetables. Now, this one, a lot of you from the summer update will probably remember this one. This one is tomatoes. Now, the reason tomatoes are the best is I think they give 3 points each, and they grow back super, super fast. So you can just keep harvesting, and this event has no time limit. So you can just be like, harvest, go, and put the tomatoes in. So they are perfect for this. As I said, you just spam them everywhere. So for the third category, fruit, you can either use the existing blueberries or you can go over and use coconuts. And coconuts can be way better because they're mythical, so they're worth way more points. It's like 5 or something instead of 2. The next one is flower. Now this one's a little bit harder. It's more rare, but the ones that I would recommend to use for this are roses, which you can get from the bee merchant. Because of that, you can mix it with other flowers as well. Also, Serenity is really good as well. A lot of you will remember that from the Zen event, but Serenity, it's worth quite a few points, and it also grows back fast like blueberries. So if you get flower, I recommend focusing on these 2 and mixing them together. And then if you need any extras, you can just use any extra plant you want. The next one is stalky. Now this one is definitely the hardest. I do know beanstalks you can use. I know a lot of people have a lot of those. They take a while to grow, but if you just harvest every hour or so, they're perfect. But what I used is light shoot and corn. These 2 would seem the best to me because I had the most of them. And also the light shoot's good because it has 3 things per seed, which is useful when the limit's 800. But I've heard parsley is really good too, but I don't have any of those because I kind of thought they wouldn't be important, so I didn't really buy any. But if you have those are perfect for this. I think they grow really, really fast. Next is prickly. For this, I think the best ones to use, once again, roses and then glowthorn. There's also a lot of other prickly plants, but as I said, I focus on fast-growing, low-point kind of plants. And then for leafy, this one's perfect. You can use ones you already have, such as blueberry and tomato. They're perfect. Oh yeah, and also I've got to say for flowers, lilacs are perfect as well, by the way. Lilacs are really good. For the next one is woody, which I would recommend to use coconuts for as well, because coconuts, as you know, are very high points and they also fit quite a few categories. Now, what I'd recommend is I think there are 800 spots for seeds to go. So this is a bit insane. Basically, here are just some general tips. So make sure that every plant that you plant isn't just like a single harvest thing, like an ember lily or whatever. Make sure it has like multiple things coming off it. The best plants to use are the plants that grow fast because you can basically harvest, come back, harvest, come back. Absolute best one I would say is tomatoes for that because it grows fast and it's 3 points. With coconuts, they're pretty fast growing, but they're definitely slower. So it's better to have more to allow some of them to grow back while you're harvesting the other ones. And then also another thing that you should keep in mind is that you get extra points for gold, silver, and rainbow. Now, rainbow is really hard to get, so we're probably going to stay away from that because as you know, the butterfly, it has to remove 5 mutations, which takes a lot of time. So you're not going to be like doing that en masse. So I think the best ones to focus on is dragonfly because it gives a gold like every like 4 minutes. A silver dragonfly because it gives silver, and then cockatrice is really good as well because it gives a whole load of silver and a bit of gold. And then if you want to talk about other ways to get it, there's also the fertilizers. They don't work that well for me. I don't know why, but so I don't really use them. But in theory, you should be able to apply one of them to a plant and then it should make like rainbow or gold or silver ones, which, as I said, that would probably work best to something that has like a whole load of plants on it. So now I'm going to move on to more like get even improved tips. If you want to get a bigger inventory, I have the absolute max inventory you can get. So how you do this is you basically complete this guide. I'm a sweat, so I've done it. When you complete this guide down here, core plants, you get 100 extra backpack slots, which is like really, really good because it lets you basically take 100 more plants, which is really, really useful in these kind of challenges because you have to go back and forth less. So that's one way. I've done that. And then make sure the statue of achievements in your garden because I think that's the only way it works because for me it didn't work for a long time. And then also you can get extra slots from this guy over here, the Ascension. Oh my god, I have dog paws. Ignore that, guys. Ignore that. What are you selling? All right. So at the Ascension shop, you can also buy extra plant capacity here, which you can buy up to 50 more. So that's already 150 extra. After that, you've done that, then you can even add pack bees. I use 2 right now, but you can use like as many as you want, like up to 8. And you just craft them here. And they basically increase your backpack size by 30, and that's base. When they age, they get even more space. If they get mutations, even more space. Do that, you can get basically infinite space. Also, as you know, you guys have probably seen the method online. A lot of people basically fill their garden, and then they use the harvest all Robux thing, because it's only 9 Robux. This can work, but as I said, you have to spend Robux, and it's really laggy, and they might patch it. They might stop people from doing that in the future. So I don't know how reliable that is, but you can try it if you want. No, I just don't do it because I try and not spend Robux in Roblox as much as I can. Other things that I would recommend is if you want to also use pets, you can use giant ants because these duplicate fruits you harvest, especially the more common plants like blueberries, tomatoes, strawberries. That can also make the time faster because it takes less time to harvest, you know, all of them. Another thing I would recommend is use fast regrowth pets. These would be like the fairies, the frogs, the cows, anything like that. I usually use the frogs to get the plants to like grow in the first place, and then use like fairies and cows and that to like get the fruits to grow faster. And then it's best also if you have one of those things like a pancake stack or a lead or the tethered mutation, because basically those just make it so they stay near what you want to grow. That's really useful for me with frogs. I haven't used fairies so much, but I'm pretty sure they work very well because I'm more focused on eggs, as you can see in the background. As you know, most events do this or something very, very, very similar. And basically, ever since I've done this method, I've gotten everything I've wanted from each event, even way more. So also, as I said, keep in mind, there is an 800 seed limit. And it does get very laggy once you get to 800 seeds, so you have to be aware of that. Many, many different methods you can use, but this has been the most successful for me. So if you have any questions, just ask me in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.